The college football experience Mountain West coach rankings 1 to 12 for 2025 episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today, edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN and get a $25 deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Nira Bets. Claim your $200 deposit bonus today at Nira Bets. That's nyrabets.com/SGPN200. And make sure you use that promo code SGPN200. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Welcome to the college football experience, Mountain West coaching ranking episode 1 through 12. We are continuing this journey of going through all the coaching, basically all the college football coaches in the FBS. We have already released episodes. They're out there talking the hot seat for all coaches on the hot seat, reviewing all year one coaches. And then we went conference by conference, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, SEC. Those episodes are all out there. Go listen to them. Evergreen content until we kick in August. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
Nobody knows nothing. Somebody knows. Double the price, but no one touches Dundee.
I love me some Mountain West action. I I get to sit down with the coaches every year. I've interviewed a lot of these guys, hung out with them, and I love it. So this one near and dear to my heart, but I also think it's a really strong coaching conference. I would say it's probably the strongest the Mountain West has ever been, at least that I can recall. From top to bottom, I think it's the best it's been probably in my lifetime. So excited to talk about it. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former staffer at Austin Peay, South Carolina, and West Virginia, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac.
What's up, man? Brother? Yeah, this is a great coaches league. I just feel like this league has gotten stronger and stronger every year. So let's talk some Mountain West, baby. Let's go.
Mac tonight. Let's go. Mac tonight. Yeah, and this is the final year of the Mountain West that we know. So next year when we're doing these episodes, a lot of these I'm trying to remember how many off the top of my head. I'm like, okay, we got Colorado State, Norvell, Pac-12, right? We got Sean Lewis, San Diego State will be Pac-12. Matt Entz, Fresno State will be Pac-12. Spencer Danielson, Boise State will be Pac-12. And Utah State and Bronco Mendenhall will be Pac-12. So then, you add in a bunch of new teams coming in. Yeah, I love the addition of UTEP. I've always thought the Mountain West should have them and I've always thought they should play the championship game. Yeah, at the Sun Bowl because it's a legendary stadium and it's actually in the fucking mountains and in the West. It's like perfect. It's like the most perfect destination. Please don't fuck this up. And I will ask that question to the commissioner this July. But we get one more year of to me, a great conference. And I still think it'll be great after, because you look at Dan Mullen, Ken Niumatalolo, Troy Calhoun, Jason Eck, Jeff Choate. I think, all those coaches will carry on. The Mountain West will still be a strong conference. It's just, it won't, it's losing a little bit of luster. We'll see what happens. But what do you make of just the conference? And then obviously we have the looming Pac-12,
Merger.
situation. Yeah, merger. There we go.
Yeah, no, it kind of feels like it sucks because, like you said, the league is getting stronger and stronger, and now, of course, it's going to be broken up based off of expansion once again. But I am interested to see what the new Pac-12 looks like and some of the new rivalries that have formed with that. I think why the coaches are so good in this league is a lot of them are on their second stop or even held their third stop. So guys like Bronco Mendenhall, that went from one school to another in this league, but was at BYU and Virginia. Dan Mullen at Mississippi State and Virginia. And Norvell obviously going from school to school in the league, and then Kenny going from Navy, and as good as he was there, going all the way out to San Jose and getting to a bowl in year number 1. So a lot of track record of winning in this league at different stops, and they're all trying to get it going now. And yeah, like you said, 1 through 11 was hard, 12 was easy. But the rest of it, I think you really could make an argument. It's like kind of like a mini Big 12, to be honest.
It is, man. From a coaching point of view, you get a lot of, good FCS coaches that have jumped up as well. Shout out to the chat, by the way. Hop in the chat, youtube.com/the college experience. Channing Brown saying Mountain West specialist. Damn right. You're damn right we are. I did order that code red. Let's just hop right into this thing because we got slides. Look, if you're listening to this on the audio side of it, that's fine too. But I highly encourage people to watch the show because I think the visual presentation helps the show. But with that anyway, let's hop into this madness here because we got, look at that. Look at those coaches right there. We got Dan Mullen in the Mountain West, Bronco Mendenhall. It's going to be a blast this year. And at number 12, only 12 coaches. Look, I think you hit the nail on the head. I was unbelievably disappointed in Jay Sawvel's first year. They were returning a lot on the line of scrimmage at Wyoming, and I was bullish. I did bet the over on them. I even took them money line against Arizona State week 1, where they got absolutely pummeled. It was like 45-7 or something. I was very shocked at how bad they were. I still am shocked. Like, part of me thinks, Tim Albin at Ohio, his first year taking over for Frank Solich, who ironically was, Craig Bull was on that staff at Nebraska with Solich, but his first year taking over, they couldn't get it going for whatever reason. They were like 3-9 at Ohio, and then they figured it out. And I'm thinking maybe this will be the thing for Jay Sawvel, but 3-9 and it wasn't pretty. It was not pretty, especially when you look at they lost to an FCS. Now, granted, it was Idaho. Jason Eck, the current head coach in New Mexico, caught them, but it was in Laramie, which has been such a great home field advantage over the years. That was puzzling. They had a bunch of other close losses, though. I mean, Utah State by 2, San Diego State by 3, Boise only by 4. So they were kind of in the games. Maybe they win some of these close games coming up, but I think this one was the most obvious. And I jump over to Moneyline Max, 12th rated coach in the Mountain West. It is Jay Sawvel as well. What was your logic and reasoning there?
Yeah, obviously took over a track record that has been used to winning, and especially at home. And then it was just ugly, like you said, right from the start. I guess if you want a little bit of glass half full, if you're a Wyoming Cowboy fan, is you kind of mentioned it. They did get a little bit better throughout the year. I think they were fucking embarrassing in September and October, just with the way that they were non-competitive. They did go 2-2 down the stretch. They did take Boise to the brink there at the end there in Laramie. And then kind of game got away at the end against Colorado State, 2-point loss to Utah State. So they at least had some close losses in the second half of the year, but this is not a 3-9 program. I mean, we're used to this program going 7-5, 8-4, and being in the hunt to get to a Mountain West championship. I'm not saying they got to be in the championship game every year like Boise, but they should be in a bowl game.
Yeah. Especially the way Craig Bowl, pun intended, had it rolling. Shout out to Alright311, giving us $10. Appreciate you. He's saying, let's go Colby and Mac. Also, I do appreciate people. I am still in the fine country of Colombia, and I know it. Gualo is saying that my background resembles a scary old nun horror movie. It's an interesting room, I'll tell you that. The echo is interesting. I feel like I'm in the game of Clue. Well, it's just weird. I don't know. It's like it's just a weird backdrop, but it's very 80s esque, I should say. But yeah, Sawvel, not Jay Norvell, Jay Sawvel is, I think, the clear-cut 12th best coach in this league. Now, he could prove us wrong, but he's got to do it. So at number 12, we have him. Folks, before we get to number 11, I want to let you know that the college football experience, Mountain West coaching ranking episode, is brought to you by us. Yes, we are a part of Sports Gambling Podcast Network. The DGens line of gear is live and in the merch store. And to celebrate, we're taking 20% off everything with the promo code DGens. Hop on over there. Once again, if you get the SGPN app, which is free to download, whatever, at Google Play Store, iTunes, whatever. Or you could just go old school style, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, click on merch. We got you 20% off. All right. So hop on over there and let it ride. All right. Back talking college football coaches, Mountain West edition. All the other conferences are out, all the power conferences. And next we're jumping over after Mountain West. We're going to talk AAC action tomorrow. And the next week, we're going to hit you with Sun Belt Conference USA and MAC. But yeah, at number 11, I have, this was so tough for me, man. I have Matt Entz, who I like.
He's got two natties.
That's what I'm saying. I had a really hard time with this one because, okay, now here's what I kept tripping up on. Okay, you have two natties at North Dakota State, and he has some big time wins at North Dakota State too. Obviously, besides those natties, he's beaten some really good teams, some FBS teams, I believe. My thing is this: it's just Craig Bowl got that thing really rolling. He handed the keys off to Chris Kleiman. Kleiman hands it off to Entz, and since Entz left, I don't know if you guys caught the FCS National Championship last year, but they won again. So I guess at this point, I'm like, is there something just, I know they spend a lot more than every other, like a lot of other FCS programs. I think South Dakota State spends a lot too, but so I'm like, is there such a thing of perhaps, are they a little bit coach proof?
Yeah.
But at the same time, when Craig Bowl went to Wyoming, completely got that program up off the ground again. Chris Kleiman's doing great at Kansas State. So I had a really hard time with this one. A really hard time with this one. And I put him at 11th. I don't know that he deserves it. I think he's a pretty good fucking football coach. But I just think, prove it to me on a place that's not winning national championships, no matter who the fuck the coach is. That was my logic here. It's a little tricky though. At number 11 for you, you had the likes of Timmy Chang. Tell me why you had Timmy Chang, who I actually think has done a good job, but I know he walked into a disaster. So maybe there's some logic there with probably his overall record, right?
Yeah, overall record. I was a little disappointed that they weren't able to get to a bowl this last year. I thought that maybe in year 3 they could make the jump there. But like you said, year 1 was a wash. I mean, that was honestly, that 3-win season was equivalent to winning about 7 or 8 games. So that was a complete overachieve that first year. I want to see him get record his first winning record. I think he's a pretty good coach. And I love that he's back at Hawaii. He played there, obviously. He's still young. I still think he's a young coach too. I mean, he's only 43 years old. He was at Nevada previously. So like
Jay Norvell guy.
For Norvell, who I hint will have here shortly as well. So I still think he's just trying to find himself as a coach.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. You look back at a season ago, they had no business losing that UCLA game.
Oh, I know.
That is just, then they lose at San Diego State by 3. They lose to UNLV, who played for the championship game, by 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they also got their ass whooped in a couple games too that I didn't see coming. Well, that one is completely, I believe, like you play in Hawaii and you're going to Logan, Utah on November 16th. That was like Tulane playing at Army in the championship in the AAC. You're just like, right? They're just not ready for that. And actually, when you look at it even closer, their other blowout loss on the road was in Pullman. Pullman gets sneaky cold, man. Like Pullman is not like Seattle. It is sneaky cold. So maybe those are the two. But the Sam Houston State one was kind of surprising. I know Sam Houston was a really good team last year, but still, they got drilled after the UCLA game. They should have just beat UCLA. That's the one I'll really circle, and that should have got them to a bowl. But they kept New Mexico out of a bowl with the big win there, 38-30 to end the season. Yeah, I mean, you can certainly make a point because his overall record, I think he's a pretty good coach. I think he walked into I would be like, to be honest, I actually think him walking into the that gig at the time he walked into that gig, I think was the hardest job in the FBS because there was like a fucking mutiny going on, and then they went to him late in the year. The athletic director situation was a goddamn mess. So I do believe that, he walked into maybe the most challenging role. Now you're in year 3 though. You've gotten out of that a little bit. Yeah. So he needs to figure it out. Big year for him here. At number 10, I went with the likes of Sean Lewis, and if you've listened to the show for a long time, I am a big fan of Sean Lewis. Like I love that hire. Now I will say this. I did not think he would go 3-9 in year 1. I ate shit with the over on San Diego State last year. Now I will say his job at Kent State that he did, I thought was amazing. Was insane. One of those years they had like at Oklahoma, at Georgia, at Washington as their non-con. The guy did an unbelievable job at Kent State in my mind, like A++. But there's 2 things that had me a little weary. A, I thought Colorado's offense got better without him. And B, I thought San Diego State, I was surprised at how bad they looked. I didn't think they would look that bad. And then it got me thinking like, well, is it possible that him winning at Kent State, which is a hard program to win at, but the MAC's level of tiers, I don't think it's different. Like the Mountain West, to me, you have a lot more teams that are capable of, like the MAC. Yes, I love the MAC. I'm not trying to shit on the MAC, but you have a lot more teams that are capable of spending a lot of money and winning big. So the difference, like between Kent State and Akron, there's not much of a difference to me, right? I mean, I think Akron's a little bit more respected of a program, but overall, it's just I feel like the level in the MAC, and you see it with the odds every year. I feel like you have no idea. It's like the 9th ranked team in the conference will win the conference. So could it be that was just the shoe fit, and he could struggle at San Diego State when you consider you're going up against great teams with great coaching and they spend a lot of money on? Maybe. But I had to rank him at 10th because I thought he greatly underachieved last year. And then I do believe Colorado's offense got better. So I thought, I question it just a little bit more. You at number 10 went with the likes of Jay Norvell, the former Chicago Bears safety.
Yeah.
obviously, some say he's still on the hot seat this year. I thought last year might have bought him a little bit of time, but tell me about you ranking Coach Norvell at number 10 there.
Yeah, I think they got a great schedule last year. In the Mountain West, they didn't play UNLV or Boise or I forget who the third team was, but it was like they didn't draw 3 out of the top 5, so they were able to get a 6-1. But hey, I'll give them credit for rallying the troops. I mean, they were sitting there at 2-3, and I was like, man, he may get fired after year 3. They rallied to win 8 games. I just feel like in his first couple of years, they were a little bit soft and it just inconsistent. I know his record at Nevada for the most part was pretty damn good, going 33-26. I just think they've been a little bit inconsistent under Norvell at Colorado State, and Nevada's had a track record of winning too, with Chris Alt for all those years. So I think Norvell's a okay coach, not horrible, not great, and that's why I got him at 10.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I was bullish on the hire at Colorado State. I know Chris Alt had talked some shit saying it was a lateral move going from Nevada to Colorado State. But at Nevada, like, because they had Polian's son, Bill Polian's son, Brian Polian, as the head coach, and he kind of let that program fall apart a little bit. Norvell walked in, and I believe he beat a couple P5s. I know Purdue was one of them.
Yeah, he was good in the COVID year.
Really good. I was impressed with, and I think a lot of where I'm going to rank him now. I don't think it's that far off from this, but was just a lot of it was more the Nevada gig than it has been Colorado State. At Colorado State, yeah, to me they should have been like I thought they could have been better last year. Now they did get hit with the injury bug a little bit, and it was still like to me it was a little bit of a breakthrough season, even though I know that schedule aligned great for him. It's a big year for him this year. I didn't have him in our hot seat episode because I thought, last year bought him a year, but you make some interesting points. So Mike Norvell. Jeez, every coach I'm fucking saying. Jay Norvell. I said, what was the first? I'm just the Norvells are just killing me over here. Sawvel, Norvell. Yeah. Ring the goddamn doorbell. But Jay Norvell, no disrespect. Jay's a great guy. I had a chance to sit down with him for the past couple, and I know we had my guy Jerry Glanville up there in Fort Collins this offseason there. So shout out to that ranking there at number 10 for Moneyline Mac. At number 9, I have the likes of Jason Eck. And this one is another one that is, so you got these FCS coaches in this conference. It makes it a little bit tricky. I'll just say this, as someone that hosts the FCS college football experience, I thought despite Matt Entz won national championships at North Dakota State. Super impressive. You're winning national championships. But I actually thought what Jason Eck did at Idaho was more impressive than Entz's national championships, because not only did Eck win right away, he got better every year at Idaho. 7-5 FCS playoffs. Year 1, a team that had not previously been there. They were kind of ass. Year 2, 9-4 FCS playoffs. Year 3, 10-4 FCS playoffs. Now, and all of that should be noted that he lost their starting quarterback 2 of those years to injury. I think last year they were in on the 3rd string quarterback. So like, it's super impressive to me what he has done considering that. And we'll see how he does it in New Mexico. I know there's a transitional phase, with coming to the FBS. And you have, this conference has so many with Choate, Eck, and Entz, all, FCS coaches. It's interesting to rank them, but I thought Eck did the more impressive job to me at the FCS than Entz. So that's why I have him at number 9. You at number 9, you have the likes of Sean Lewis. Okay, so we're kind of on the same page here with Sean Lewis. Tell me why you have him at 9.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think as every day and every season goes by, he did a pretty damn good job at Kent State. All things considered, I mean, going 24-31 is like going 44-21 there. So, little bit disappointing year one that they didn't be able to win more than 3 games. But I mean, his style is so unique. He's got to get his guys in, coming off the Brady Hoke era, and instill his culture. So you look at what he did at Kent State year one. He went 2-10. Can he now jump where he had success at Kent years 2, 3, 4, and 5? You make good points about Colorado. I mean, Shedeur was better without Sean Lewis, and I think they never really fit from a marriage standpoint of how Lewis wanted to run his offense versus Shedeur's fit and talent and Travis Hunter. So I think he's a good coach, and I'm looking forward to year number 2 at San Diego State. I was a big fan of his at Kent State.
Yeah, I'm kind of fascinated. Like you the all off season, you're looking for these diamonds in the rough. I don't know if people caught me on VSiN. I was giving away a Nebraska future, just to make the Big Ten championship, and people are like, you think they're going to win? Win the Big Ten? I go, I don't think that they're going to win it, but I think they can get there. And if you can get there, but you're looking for these diamonds in the rough where there's a lot of value on, and I think San Diego State, could be one of those teams. You got to take a look at them, look at that schedule. But yeah, Sean Lewis at number 9. At number 8 for pick Dundee is Timmy Chang. See, and if I may say this, I think I say this every episode. If there's one that I think I may have misjudged, like if you're telling me I have to sit down and circle, who did I misjudge? It might be Timmy Chang, right? But I just think it was such a disaster what he walked into that I actually think 3 years in, he's done a good job. And I think it's not the record to me. It's the toughness of the team that he's instilled. Like, they were so bad. Like year one for him, and because he came in late, and the year prior, I just felt like it was a disaster. It was like a mutiny. Like I said, their whole damn team, they were just grabbing guys wherever they could to field a team for that first season. And I think the team is a much tougher team now, like just on the line of scrimmage and then mentally. And I think that's a credit to Timmy Chang. Now, 5 wins back-to-back years. It needs to be a bowl season. But I think he's done a really good job considering. I think I'm ranking this based off of how bad I knew the disaster was that he walked into.
Yeah.
And it's overachieved, because if you go back, I think you can find it on this very podcast when they hired him. I didn't think it was going to work, and I just because I knew that everyone was leaving, the athletic director didn't, who like the whole island loved, was pushed out the door. The school president was talking about potentially ending football. Like, there was a lot of crazy shit going on. So I thought he's done a great job moving forward. Now, also, I happen to like the guy. I interview him, each year, and I think he's one of my favorites, just from like a competitor point of view. And he's just a very fun interview, and is passionate about what he believes in. So it makes me want to play for him just off talking to the guy. So maybe I'm giving him some love in that regard. And fun fact that his dad, Timmy Chang, Timmy Chang played for Ken Niumatalolo's dad in basketball, high school basketball. So pretty fun fact there on the island. But I have Timmy Chang at number 8. You at number 8, Moneyline Mac, Jeff Choate. Speak to me here, because this is another one. I was actually, the record's not going to show it.
Yeah.
Damn, was I impressed in year 1 though.
Yeah. Like, do I wish they could have grinded a couple more of those games out, those close losses? I think 6 one-score losses. But I also remember how bad we thought they were going to be in the preseason and what he took over. And for them to be in one-score games, to be there to beat SMU on the opener in week 0, who ended up being a fucking playoff team. He changed the identity of that team. I didn't like that they lost their last 6. I would have liked to see them pick off a couple of those. Maybe not lose to Air Force or Fresno. I mean, I don't expect you to beat Boise and UNLV. You don't have the Jimmies and Joes year 1 to beat those teams, but that'd be my only knock. At Montana State, he was solid as well. He built it year by year by year. This is another guy I'm really excited to see what year 2 has. My reason for 8 was that I wish they could have just won a couple more games, but I do like Jeff Choate, and I think he was good at Texas as well as the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, no, and I think he's a really good coach too. He's at Boise too with Peterson and those guys. I think they got. I love this hire when it happened. I just thought it was going to take. Wait, I know they only won a couple games last year, but they passed the eye test to me a lot more than I thought they would. And it started with that game against SMU. At number 7 for me, I have Jeff Choate. Yes. I mean, I kind of already hit on this, but to me, depth played an issue. I think this past year they ran into some injuries, and walking into the situation, this is such an upgrade from what Ken Wilson previously was. And I like Ken, but Choate just came in and you could tell it's a guy with a plan. Now they still didn't have a winning record, but to me, the team is headed in the right direction. I never got that feeling under Ken Wilson. So I think the guy can coach. Obviously at Montana State, he was great too. So that was my logic was just eye test. It was almost like Elko when he walked in the Duke. And I know he only won I think he won 7 games at Duke his first season, but they just looked the part. Like they looked I know Duke wasn't going to win the ACC in year 1 with Elko, but I just thought, wow, he has like his players in position often to stay in the games, to be in the games. And I thought that was something. And I was not high on Nevada coming into the season last year, despite me being high on the hire. So at number 7, I have Jeff Choate. You at number 7 have Spencer Danielson. I know Chris B's waiting to argue with you down there in the chat. He's already talking about this Boise State Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
Sell me on this one, because I mean, it's hard to say he's done anything bad. Talk to me about this one.
I think I'll probably have the lowest among anybody that will rank Mountain West coaches. I will first start with, he's done what he's supposed to do. And I think that kind of fits the criteria of what we said about in the Big Ten when we did that. Ryan Day, Dan Lanning, and those guys. I just think that the Boise job is so much better than all the other jobs Andy Avalos won the Mountain West the year before and got fired the next year because he was 4-2. Like, you're supposed to run the table. So he hasn't done anything wrong. He's 15-3. He's 10-0 in Mountain West. He hasn't even lost a Mountain West game. But I just think the guys above him on this list would do the exact same thing, but I've seen them do it for longer at different stops. That was my whole logic. I kind of struggled ranking him, and maybe it's just I want to see him do it another couple years of consistency rather than just getting the Boise job and doing what he's supposed to do 1 year. He was good the interim year too. He was good the interim year.
Very good the interim year. Yeah.
He's done everything he's supposed to. I just want to see it another year or two.
Fair. Look, want to talk, we'll see where I have him ranked, because it's a tricky one. You can almost make the case.
It's Ryan Day.
Ryan Day, or even Matt Entz with North Dakota State.
Yeah.
How the hell do everyone wins here. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but I want to tell you that the College Football Experience is brought to you by Edge Boost. Yes, Edge Boost, the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. There are no usage fees, no minimums, no credit checks. You can earn cashback rewards as well, and 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today, edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match that deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Nira Bets. Yes, Nira. The Preakness is right around the corner, and there's no better time to get in on the action than with Nira Bets. Sign up today with the promo code SGPN200 and score a $200 deposit match bonus. And look, don't wait. Head over there now. NiraBets.com/SGPN 200 and claim your $200 deposit match bonus today. That's nyrabets.com/SGPN200. And last but not least, we're brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Love Underdog Fantasy. Been playing it with the UFL. Been playing it in the NHL playoffs. Just a ton of fun. Obviously, with college football and college basketball, I think that's where you can find just the sharpest edge. Look, an Underdog just launched their new game, Ladders. You can win up to 500 times the amount of money you enter watching your favorite players climb that ladder. Jump on over there. Check it out. So sign up. And when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN and claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. That's underdogfantasy.com promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back. Chris B agreeing. There we go. Give me some honest Boise love there. All right. At number 6 for me, I have Jay Norvell. Now, once again, maybe I was clinging on to the Nevada thing strong because that's Colorado State to me. I would just give him a C so far. But I thought at Nevada, he did like an A to me. Like I know Alt had that thing rolling, but Polian kind of sank the battleship a little bit. I thought Norvell came back in, got it to where it should be. So in that regard, and then the fact he did have that breakthrough bowl season, it still wasn't. I took a shot on them to win the Mountain West because of the path a season ago. It didn't cash, and I thought it's a damn shame because that schedule aligned nice for him. So in a way, they kind of underachieved, but they also had that breakthrough bowl season that I think Colorado State fans have been waiting for. So I don't know. It's fine line there. But yeah, I have him at 6. I think he's a good coach. I know prior to that, he had been on some staffs that were good. He was at Arizona State when they had some good seasons. So like to me, I think he's a good football coach. You can't regress though. Like if they didn't make a bowl this year, I would be very concerned. If he can just get in the groove of making Colorado State a bowl team year in, year out, then they can take the next step forward after that. But getting to that first bowl was big. Let's see if he can do it again. But yeah, I have Norvell at 6. At number 6 for you is Entz. And here's the irony, man. He's my number 11. But I think that's a really Entz might be a better coach than Norvell. I think it's very, very close. And that's a testament to the Mountain West coaching. But tell me why you have Matt Entz at number 6.
So everything I said with Danielson, I'll say with Entz. He took the job that was the best job by far at that level, and he did what he's supposed to. And he's just done it longer than Danielson, and that was my logic of ranking him above Danielson. So 60-10 in his 5 years at North Dakota State. He won 2 natties. It's hard to knock the guy. When you go 60, it's like I said with the Ryan Day, Dan Lanning, James Franklin, they do what they're supposed to do, but it's just I kind of think everybody else would as well.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, at least he didn't fuck it up,
he didn't fuck it up. He won 2 natties. So, I mean,
yeah. He didn't Bill Callahan this at Nebraska, right? Yeah. Where it's just so yeah, I mean, that's the part that's interesting about this conference. I thought there was a gap after 4, a tiny gap where 5 to 11 is really challenging to me. 12 was obvious, but yeah, Entz at 6 makes sense. I mean, as much as I just didn't have him there, I don't even think I disagree with it that much. I think you can make a case that he should be 5 or 6. For me at number 5, I have the likes of Spencer Danielson. Now, I couldn't put him in the top 4 because the sample size is too short. But I will say, and I know a bunch of people have wanted Boise. They haven't had a losing season since 97. But I saw the difference. Andy Avalos, first off, one of those years went air raid, brought in Tim Plow. It was a fucking disaster. I mean, they still had a winning season, but they look like shit by Boise standards. Whenever they transitioned to Danielson, that team bought in. Now, I Boise's been a factory. They won under Harsin, even won under Avalos, and they fired him. But to me, I saw a difference. and then to take him to the playoffs last year, in year one of the 12-team playoff, I think is a big game. And really, like, I'll give the guy some credit, man, for a young coach who I wasn't sure. He started Maddox Madsen, a 3-star, over Malachi Nelson, a 5-star. That takes some fucking balls when your NIL collective pays for a quarterback and you're like, no, this is me. Maddox Madsen's our guy. I was very impressed. So I understand it's Boise. You get a little bit of that Entz, North Dakota State treatment where you're like, oh, how good is he really? If you put Spencer Danielson at Hawaii, I'm not sure he could do what Timmy Chang's doing. But at the same time, I think that he was an upgrade over Avalos, and I was impressed that he had the courage to tell the 5-star to ride the pine. So yeah, at number 5, Spencer Danielson. At number 5 for Ryan McIntyre, he has Jason Eck, which once again, I think I had him at 8 or 9, but you can sell me on this because I was super, super impressed with what he did at Idaho. What was your logic on having him at 5?
Yeah, I think he's fresh in my mind just because we did that spotlight episode on him and Mendenhall. Like we talk about with Danielson and Entz, that those guys not born on third base, but like they do what they're supposed to. Eck went to Idaho and completely elevated the program. Like when he took it over, they sucked. He takes it over, they go 26-13, and they go to the playoffs. So like that's my logic. He was unbelievable.
And they were getting rated in the portal too, like Giovanni McCoy, who's like the player of the year. Yeah, and they almost that is true. They almost knocked off the Oregon Ducks last year. Had that thing, what was that, like a 4-point game, 3-point game deep into the fourth quarter.
Without his quarterback.
Yes, without a starting quarterback. It's pretty fucking impressive. Yeah. I love it. I think New Mexico we talked about this, that episode's out there. Bronco Mendenhall at Utah State and Jason Eck at New Mexico. And I think, I know New Mexico fans were gutted when Mendenhall left, but I think they did the best possible thing they could by bringing in Eck. I think Eck's going to get that program rolling. So I do like you having him at 5. I couldn't get there just because the FBS, I want to see him, but he to me, out of the 3 coaches that were between Choate, and then Entz at North Dakota State, you have your 3 FCS coaches here, and Eck. I thought Eck walked into the hardest job and did the best of the 3. So I can understand him being 5th for you. Folks, before we get to number 4, I do also want to let you know that the college football experience is brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is your home for AI-backed picks and props. Dominate the NBA playoffs and MLB prop market with Rhythm. Building your own model is simple and easy as well, and Rhythm knows you'll love it. That's why they're going to give you a free 7-day trial period. And Rhythm has some amazing deals going on right now. 25% off the monthly subscription with the promo code SGPN25 and 50% off the annual subscription with the promo code SGPN50. That's Rhythm, RITHMM, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. But don't forget to get that 7-day free trial period. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And we're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including the NBA and NHL playoffs. They also have props for every game. And for the true DGens, the MyBookie money bag is a bundle of fun. And MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well. You could easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head on over to MyBookie.ag and use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions do apply. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. And finally, last but not least, we're brought to you by the Circa in Las Vegas and their Ultimate Fantasy Football giveaway. Yes, the Circa Resort and Casino in downtown Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league. How about this? They're inviting the 12-person league, whoever is out there running a 12-person league that's going to submit into this contest. They're going to bring you out to Vegas, treat you like VIPs the entire time because they got a 2-night stay at the Circa Resort for the entire crew, 12 different people. All right. 6 double king rooms. You can hold the draft at the Cabana at Stadium Swim, which is fucking awesome. We had our rhythm party there with a $5,000 food and beverage credit, limo transportation from the airport, a welcome party at the Legacy Club for the league, which is awesome. Ric Flair was there the other night. A reservation at the world's largest sports book with a $500 credit or beverage credit for the league, and then a 2-hour open bar package for the league at the Overhang Bar. Holy shit, this is fantastic. The contest is running from May 5th till June 30th. Here's how you enter: sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's CIRCA. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. All right, we are back talking Mountain West football. We're at the top 4. We're finally here. At number 4 for me is the likes of Dan Mullen. I know some people might make the case that he should be number 1. I was surprised that he took the UNLV job, to be honest. There were rumors that he would potentially get the Georgia Tech job 2 years ago when they fired Jeff Collins. There was other gigs, and I was a little surprised that he took the UNLV job. But then I remembered he was also a part of that Utah staff with Urban Meyer back in the early 2000s. And I was like, he's got some familiarity with the Mountain West. But this is a guy that I think Florida fans will tell you right now, maybe he should have never been fired.
Yeah.
I mean, at Florida, he was 10-3 in year 1 with the Peach Bowl win, 11-2 in year 2 with an Orange Bowl win. And by the way, they almost beat Alabama. It was a 1-score game in the SEC championship. 8-4 in year 3, lost in the Cotton Bowl, and then 5-6, and boom, he's out of here. Now I know they say it wasn't recruiting at the level they like, which is hilarious because they couldn't read the tea leaves on the NIL era. But he was still 34-15 at Florida, which is pretty damn good. And obviously at Mississippi State, he had the boys in Starkville back in 2014 at number 1 in the nation. Yes, the first year of the 14 playoff, the first rankings they released, Mississippi State was the 1 seed. They just missed out on that. So he did a pretty damn good job at Mississippi State. They only had 1 year they didn't make a bowl, and that was his first season. So you can make a case that he deserves to be number 1. My only thing would be this. I mean, he was at 2 SEC schools. Now, granted, Mississippi State was one of the hardest gigs.
Yeah, they
so, I mean, he deserves a lot of credit for that Mississippi State run. I mean, maybe this is another one where it's like Timmy Chang. Maybe he should be a little bit higher to me. My problem is I'm so bullish on the top 3 that it's hard for me. I mean, I think you can make a case though. And this after 4, I think Mullen is a part of that top tier, and I think you can argue him for number 1. One in line Mac at number 4 had he had Dan Mullen as well. So we're thinking on the same page here. What was your logic for having him at number 4?
A lot of the same things you said. I honestly almost put him 1. I'm not going to lie. Then I was like, the other 3 guys have really elevated programs that were really bad, and put it to heights that they haven't been in years. But Mullen, I mean, great job at Mississippi State. 8 straight bowl games. You mentioned it. They were number 1 in the country with Dak Prescott. And then he goes to Florida and he had success. I know they jumped the gun there in that 4th year, but I mean, they went to an SEC title game. You take out that final year, he was 29-9. I mean, they were rolling the first 3 years, had some injuries in that 4th year, and then really just, I thought they overreacted, but I mean, it's Florida. So, I think he's a good coach. I think he's going to do good at UNLV, and it's good to see him back on the sideline because he did a great job at Mississippi State.
He really did. And we need Sam Boyd back as UNLV's home games. Just going to keep saying that because I think that shit hurts your home field advantage. I really do. Dan Mullen, interesting hire. And another thing is you got to think once Fresno, San Diego State, Utah State, Boise, Colorado State all split off, who's going to be the year in, year out favorite to win the Mountain West? It's probably going to be UNLV. We'll see what Eck does at New Mexico. Obviously, Calhoun at Air Force. If you're an Air Force fan, you're probably thinking, hey, there's a path for us. But yeah, you got San Jose State as well. But we both have Dan Mullen at number 4. At number 3 for me, I have Ken Niumatalolo, which I know it says Air Force there. It's meant to be San Jose State. Brain fart. But Ken Niumatalolo is my guy, man. Great fucking coach. I'm a big fan. And I mean, it was really hard for me to to really figure out where I wanted Niumatalolo, just because I think he's a really good coach. Was with Paul Johnson forever. I like that first season at San Jose State. They should have beat Boise. Let him off the hook. I'm sure he'll tell you that. The only thing that made me hesitate a little bit was 4 of his final 5 seasons at Navy. He had 4 losing seasons, and then but the one winning season, he was 11-2. So he damn near went undefeated. So I think the guy's an unbelievable coach. But I thought that was my logic on potentially pushing him back to 3. I sat there and I was shuffling between coaches. But man, I think the guy can coach. What he did at Navy was remarkable. 9 win seasons or better. He had like 7 of them or 6 of them. So, unbelievable job to have Navy there and winning the games that they won. So I have Ken Niumatalolo at number 3. At number 3 from Moneyline Mac is Troy Calhoun. Hey, why'd you have my number 3? And yeah, I mean, this is one. It was tough, man. I was comparing him and Niumatalolo's resume. I was looking back and forth. I was like,
they're identical.
Yeah.
and I'll tell you my tiebreaker. I went back and I said, who has more Commander-in-Chief trophies between the two? So that was my logic. And Ken has just a couple more. I think he was up 1 on him. So, but I mean, Calhoun's awesome. I mean, what he's been able to do at Air Force or identity, just the way that they're able to run that offense, triple option, and I mean, how many 10-win seasons he's got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe, and a bunch of 9-win seasons. I mean, he's 80-58 in the Mountain West. They're always in the hunt. And even in a down year last year where he said they were going to be horrible, they still won 5-7, and they got better and better throughout the year. And that's the sign of a good coach.
How about the way they ended the season, man?
Yeah, that's a sign of a good coach with all these young guys that get better and better, because they were awful early because they were all freshmen and sophomores. So they're going to be good again, and he's a great coach.
Yeah, they started. So they beat Merrimack in the opening back on August 31st, 21-6. Then they follow it up with 7 straight losses. So 1-7, and all of those losses, with the exception of Colorado State, were by double digits, right? So they kind of got their ass whooped, but then they figured it out. 8-point win against Fresno State, 28-point win against Oregon State, 3-point win against Nevada on the road in Reno, 11-point win against San Diego State. So he's a great fucking coach, man. And yeah, I mean, that's the debate, man, is all these top 4, I feel like, is razor thin. Yeah. At number 2 for old pick Dundee, I have Bronco Mendenhall. And you can argue him 1. I think anyone that's ever listened to the show, I'm a huge Bronco Mendenhall guy. I thought last year's job at New Mexico, going 5-7, should have been 6-6 if they beat Montana State, which they had a 17-point lead in week 0 with fucking 10 minutes left. Would have got him to a bowl game. I still think it was one of the best coaching jobs in the country last year. I was 1 and done at New Mexico. He lands at Utah State. He was unbelievable everywhere he's been, a part of the Rocky Long coaching tree. BYU, I think he really had it rolling. Virginia has been the best coach they've had in 25 years. It speaks for itself. Big fan, great hire for the Aggies of Utah State. So that's my number 2 there for you. At number 2, is Ken Niumatalolo. Once again, ignore the Air Force. I just copied and pasted that. He is at San Jose State, as you can see. I'm a fucking idiot. But why'd you have? I know why you have him over
Calhoun.
Over Calhoun. But sell me on. You had him number 2. You put him above Mullen. Yeah. And some people might argue that.
Yeah, I mean, Ken's been. You look at what he did at Navy. And here's what was so impressive about it. By the way, he has 7 commander-in-chiefs since he came in, and his time in Navy. Calhoun only has 5, so he was up 2 on him. But they came in, they were an independent, and they found consistency right off the bat. I know he took over for Paul Johnson, but I thought it was really impressive the way they were able to transition into the AAC. His first 2 years, the 1 year win the AAC the first year, and then get to a conference title the next year, and then another 11-win season. I thought it was a joke he got fired.
I do too. I did too. Yeah.
I like their COVID restrictions were ridiculous, and they kind of never really recovered. But I mean, he showed last year that he's able to adapt, run a different offense out there in San Jose, get to a bowl game already in year 1, and I just think he's a fantastic coach, a model of consistency, and he's a good dude, just like Calhoun. Easy guy to root for.
Great fucking guy, man. Great guy. Had a great time talking. He put in fake coyotes on their practice field this past year to make sure that the birds would stop shitting on their field. These birds would come in and start shitting all over their grass. Hey, these dogs are barking here. But this is Columbia, these street dogs, man. At number 1 for me is Troy Calhoun. And I've said this for a while. I think I even wrote an article at sportsgamblingpodcast.com a few years back calling him, a top 5 coach in the country. I think, all those other guys, I don't think the gap is very big. Like, to me, it's very, you can, but I just think last year's, you can learn more about a coach in losing seasons sometimes than winning seasons. Mm-hmm. And I thought the way you ended the season last year is, we talk about it all the time. It's how you finish with a very, very, inexperienced team. But really, you look at it, 5 and 7 can get you in a lot of bowl games. They'll call up 5 and 7 teams all the time to get in a bowl game. So when you look at that, you're saying 5 and 7. I don't consider that a bad year in general. Doesn't matter the team, even if you're, especially in the mid-major ranks. But if you throw out those 5 and 7 seasons, which he's had 3 in his 17 or 18 seasons there. He only really has 1 shitty season besides that, and that was 2013. Every other season, this dude's been just killing it. 9. How many 8 win seasons are better? I'm counting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of his 17 seasons. And it's also who they beat. He has owned Colorado State. Last year's that saved Norvell was the fact he finally got that. But Colorado, he's I forget the record off the top of my head, but I know Calhoun's something like 15-2 or something against Colorado State. And guess what? He swept the Colorado Buffaloes with Mel Tucker. One of those years, and then I forget who was Carl Durrell, I think, was the second year. He swept the Colorado Buffaloes. This is a guy who has big time wins too. One against Washington State, one against. They've beaten some really good schools over the years. Notre Dame, I think he has multiple wins against Notre Dame. So to me, the proof is there. This is a guy that can. I think the guy is a phenomenal football coach. I just think he's a really good, sharp mind. And I love his statements on the triple option and, the NCAA trying to get rid of these cut blocks. And I thought he had a great point by saying, you never see that, you might get dinged up for a week, but you never see terrible fucking injuries with that. And then when you consider you want to go high, that's where the concussions are, right? So which one is it? It's all bullshit in my opinion. triple option football is football 101, but Calhoun is to me a master at that. So that's my logic on having Troy Calhoun number 1. It is razor close. I'm a huge Bronco Mendenhall guy. But I got Troy Calhoun at 1, and I think Air Force can be a problem this year. Oh, and you at number 1 have Bronco Mendenhall, which that was the battle for me. I felt coming into this, it was one of the two, right?
It's hard.
Yeah. One of the two. I mean, Niumatalolo was right there too. I just thought Niumatalolo got handed a little. I don't know though. You can make a case to Calhoun because he followed Fisher to Barry. I don't know. You can make a case. They're similar, all of them, and even Mullen with what he did at Mississippi State belongs up there as well. But why do you have Mendenhall at 1?
Well, I mean, for his first tenure in the Mountain West, he was dominant. I mean, four straight double-digit win seasons with BYU, and then they go to be an independent, and that basically was a Pac-12 and Big 12 schedule, and he won 10, 8, 8, 8, 9 every year. They were loaded, and then for his honestly, like he was great at BYU, but BYU's had a track record of just being always good. When he took over Virginia, they weren't very good at all. They're horrible. And I know Virginia was good in the 80s and 90s, but like it had been a minute. And he turned Virginia around. He got into an ACC championship and an Orange Bowl. We're talking about Virginia here, and you look at Virginia now. And he ended the Virginia Tech streak. He beat Virginia Tech one of those years, which they never do. And then, of course, he takes a couple years off. Then he comes back to New Mexico. They got a win total of like 2 last year. They get 5. They almost get to a bowl game. And now he's over to Utah State, and I'm sure he'll win a Mountain West championship within his first 3 years. That's what he does. He always wins. So I love Mendenhall. His team's always got an identity. And I know you love some Bronco Mendenhall as well. So easy sell with Mendenhall.
Dude, how great is this fucking conference this year coaching? Like this is definitely the best that it's ever been. Like week in, week out, we're going to get like Mendenhall against Danielson, Niumatalolo against Sean Lewis or whatever. Like I just feel like everyone, Sawvel, step your game up. Let's go. I feel like if we can go 12 for 12 here in the final year, with all being coaches that I think very highly of, like I said, I think very highly of 11 of these 12. And I don't think it's because I interview them every July. I think it's because like what they have done in their career, to your point, which I didn't even think about, is like second or third stops where they've figured it out. So yeah, I mean, Mendenhall is incredible. I think he's done an unbelievable job. And look, I know BYU was rolling with Lavelle Edwards, but they had what was my guy's name? Gary is it Crowder? I think Gary Crowder that took over following Lavelle Edwards, and he struggled. And then Mendenhall got that shit right back up. So unbelievable coach, I think. And I think Utah State's got something moving forward. So look, Robert Martin said Mendenhall is going to have his work cut out for him. Watch out though, man.
He had to cut out for him last year, and he fucking he almost went 5-7. To keep in perspective, he was 39-9 in the Mountain West in his first 10 years. So Utah State's a pretty good gig if they got the right guy. And I mean, he's back home. He's back home. That's why I'm jacked up. Yeah,
I just load me up these Mountain West games, man. It's a shame the conference is breaking up, but. One more ride off into the sunset. Folks, that is our show. Tomorrow we'll be back with the AAC, the American, breaking down all their coaches as we inch closer. Don't forget, we break down all 136 FBS teams with a solo episode for each and every team in the land, which we're going to start soon once I get back to North America. So, buckle up. It's coming in the next couple of weeks. We'll be starting to break down teams. Give Moneyline Mac a follow on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. Also check out the College Basketball Experience, killing it on episodes over there. Transfer portal, coaching hires, batshit crazy stuff happening there. I saw they released the Crosstown Classic of Cincinnati Xavier. That's one I put down in a calendar every year. So schedules are starting to come out. We'll be talking all about it on the College Basketball Experience. Also, check out the College Baseball Experience. Noah Bieniek and company doing great work. The road to Omaha is heating up. They're up next. All right, so buckle up. The in the next, I think 30 minutes, they'll be going live. So check them out. Big weekend of college baseball coming up. And also make sure you check out the FCS College Football Experience and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network and the Sports Gambling Podcast in general. So, till next time, folks. He's Ryan McIntyre. My name is Pick Motherfucking Dundee. This is the College Football Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot.